children, I welcome you all to the English class for CBSE 10th. First flight. Today we'll learn the lesson 5, the 100 dresses part 1, written by L. Esther. So we have two parts in first flight. This is the first part. And before we go into the story, I would like to tell this is a video for all the students who would like to understand each and every sequence, what happened in the story. It is clearly narrated with pictures and simple English. So before we start, I would like to ask you a genuine question. How do you judge the people around you? Is it by their money or wealth or by the possession they have? So this question needs a genuine answer. So here we are going to talk about a sensitive account of how a poor girl, young Polish girl who is a school-going girl, her name is Wanda Petronski, how she was treated as different in the American schools. So give your genuine answer for this and think in your mind. So before starting, I would like to tell you what Wanda is, Wanda Petronski, and where she belongs to, and something about this girl. So Wanda Petronski, as you know, the main name is a bit different. She is a Polish girl and she lives in Bergen Heights. She studies in an American school with the American children, and she always wears a faded blue dress every day to school. The dress is clean but not ironed, so there are wrinkles. So children treat her as different, not only because of the name but also the looks. And she always sits in the last bench or the corner of the room, where it is meant for rough boys or rogue boys with full of dust and mud and noisy, isn't it? But she is entirely different. She's a very quiet and shy girl. So why is she sitting at the last bench? Okay, so let's see. So she hardly had any friends, and she hardly speaks. She has no friends at all. So people see Wanda as different. So let us see why she is different in this school. Because school is a place where equal education is given for every student irrespective of their background. But here, Wanda Petronski, the background is that she is from a Polish American community in the United States, and Polish are people who are from Poland, Europe, and Poland is surrounded by Austria, Germany and Russia. So the people from Poland, they immigrated to many other countries and settled there, and they were known as, according to the country of origin, they were known as Russian Poles or Austrian Poles or German Poles. And the largest American Poles are in Chicago in America, and they are often discriminated by the American people. So that is all about the background of Polish people. And she always wears a faded blue dress, and her shoes are caked with mud because she comes from the Bergen Hills, which is, the road is not a Paka road. And now here we see the talk of the school. She's known as Peggy, a popular girl, and her best friend is Maddie. So there are a group of girls who hang around, and Peggy is the icon among them. And now we have Wanda Petronski, who is really studying in the same classroom, room 13. But what happens to her? Why? Whether she gets humiliated or cornered or tortured or mocked by there or teased by there, what her reactions? Did the children repent for their fun that they made? Let us see. So it was Monday morning in room 13. All the students were studying except Wanda was not in her seat. She was absent, and hardly she was noticed by any pupil in the class, because she always sat at the last bench, where it was meant for rogue pupil, full of dust and mud, and it was noisy at the back. But Wanda has no friends. She was relatively very quiet and very shy girl, and she hardly spoke, and she came from Bergen Heights alone and went back from school alone. But Monday was a day when she was absent, but hardly no one noticed. And I will tell you about Wanda. Whenever Wanda comes to school, pupils or the students will never think about her. She'll come into the picture or into their mind only before or after the school, just to make fun of her. So the next day, Tuesday also, she was not present in the class. Now let me tell you about the icon of the school, the talk of the girl. School, Peggy, who is a popular girl. She's very pretty and she has pretty dresses and she's quite rich and has curly hair. And the other girl, Maddie, she is a close friend of Peggy and she's also poor, but she's not targeted here. She is very close to Peggy. So on Wednesday, the third day of the week, Peggy and Maddie thought of Wanda. So surprising. Monday and Tuesday she was not thought, but Wednesday these two people, Peggy and Maddie, thought of Wanda. Why? Why Wanda came to their mind? It's just because they wanted to make fun of Wanda. So before entering the class, they were whiling outside and they got late that day, but they couldn't find Wanda. And these two were very good scholars. They got good marks and they sat in the front row in the class. So what was the relatively discrimination happening here? It was the names. Because in the American class, the children had names like Thomas Smith, Alan Bounds, which was funny, but not as funny as Wanda Petronski. So on the name basis, in school, what usually happened with Wanda? This is a picture. Whenever they come out to play hopscotch, it's a game of numbers in squares. You hop, isn't it? And then Wanda was surrounded by the girls and she was talked upon. Wanda was really scared and she hardly spoke, but she just gave a crooked smile. That's it. She never had any friend. She was surrounded in the schoolyard and mocked and teased. And what were the questions usually asked with Wanda Petronski? Yeah, the icon of the class, Peggy, the rich girl and the popular girl, would ask Wanda in a very courteous and polite way, as if she's talking to Miss Mason, her teacher. How many dresses you have, Wanda, in your closet? And Wanda gave a positive reply saying that 100. All the girls stopped playing and listened to Wanda carefully. And they questioned her. Are your dresses all made of silver or velvet? Then she would reply in a positive manner. The children couldn't believe Wanda answering such, claiming to have 100 dresses. So they would mock at her. And again the question they used to shoot up. How many pairs of shoes you have, Wanda? She said, I have 60 pairs of different sizes and designs. And as Wanda passed away, all the children would mock at her and laugh loudly as she passed away. So just really think about Wanda Petronski, how she would be feeling all alone in the school. She was being cornered by all the children and mocked at her and teased for her poverty. Do you think, children, is that right to do with any of your friend in the school? No, I don't think it is good manners or polite to corner any person. We all are equal, isn't it? But what happened to Wanda? Then Peggy, coming to talk about the popular girl, she always used to mock it and ask questions to Wanda. What was the real character? Let us know. Peggy was not a cruel girl. She always protected small children from bullying. And she also cries if any animal is mistreated. So she's a kind and nice girl. But if somebody asks her, why are you, Peggy, so in behavior with Wanda? Why are you so cruel to her, asking so much questions on her poverty? Then simply Peggy would say, what? I am not cruel towards Wanda. Wanda is a dumb. She's a liar. She says and claims that she has blue dress, red dress and 100 dresses and 60 pairs of shoes, which is not true because she is a liar. She comes in the same dress every day, and how can she say that? She's a dumb girl. And that's the reason I think I asked Wanda in such a way. So Peggy thinks she was okay or justified in what she was doing. But Wanda never cried, whatever fun she was made of. Now coming to Maddie, the close friend of Peggy. So Maddie was, she always felt bad for Wanda. Why? Why Maddie was feeling bad for Wanda Petronski? Because she herself was poor. And she also thanked God that I'm not as poor as Wanda, and I don't have a funny name like Wanda Petronski, and I don't live in Boggin Hills, thank God, even though I am poor. So, otherwise, I would have been, yeah, targeted like the other boys. Like Wanda Petronski. She thought of Wanda. What was her thinking of Wanda? So Maddie thought Wanda, she felt really got embarrassed about the dress games and the mocking of Wanda. Yeah, and she noticed that she noticed Wanda only because of this dress game. Maybe she felt very bad because came to know about Wanda only because of the dress game. Maddie herself was poor and she wore second hand dresses, that is handmade down dresses. And so she thought Wanda was a fool telling about 100 dresses, and she would never say that. And she also wished that Peggy stop bothering Wanda about the dresses game and you know keep making teasing or making fun of her poverty. And she was Peggy's closest friend. So Maddie, she had dresses sometimes from Peggy also, and her mother used to trim it or alter it or change so that nobody can make out that it's a second hand dress or hand me down dresses. Then now Maddie started thinking, thank God today is Wednesday and we were late to school, and we stopped there for Maddie to make fun of her. Thank God she was absent. She didn't return up. At least today she's been avoided from being made fun of. So she was happy though they were late to school. And soon she began to do her arithmetics problem. But something was haunting Maddie. She was not able to concentrate. She was just saying 8 into 8 how many times? But her mind is full of Wanda Petronski. Maybe she's thinking Monday, Tuesday, and this is Wednesday. She never turned up to school. What has happened? Because children all used to make fun of her before in the class. Is there anything seriously problem? So she was, yeah, thinking in her mind, and she really wanted to save Wanda or support Wanda, but she did not have the guts or the courage to go directly straight forward to her best friend Peggy and ask her to stop making fun of Wanda. She lacked that courage. So she took another way. She started to write a note to Peggy, and she started writing the note saying that do not tease Wanda on the dress game or her poverty. As she was writing, suddenly she paused and shuddered. She shook with fear. Maddie pictured herself in the schoolyard as a new target for being bullied by the children asking her about her dresses, about her status, about her poverty, where she got these dresses. Immediately she got fear. She was trembling and she couldn't think what to do. And it was one of her Peggy's old ones. So her mother, she very well knew that some of her dress that she wore was Peggy's, which her mother trimmed so that nobody could recognize. So she was also equally poor. So this may be the reason why she is feeling and having a soft corner for Wanda Petronski when she's cornered. And but she remained a mute spectator instead of supporting Wanda. She wrote a note, but she couldn't think of picturing herself as the next target and asking by Peggy and other girls. So what did she do? Immediately she tore the note into pieces, and she thought of Peggy now. She said, Peggy is my best friend, and she's the most liked girl in the whole room. And she will not do anything wrong like that. I still believe in her. She's my best friend. That's what Maddie thought. And on the other side, she thought of Wanda Petronski. Who is Wanda? Wanda is some girl from Boggin Hills, and she always speaks. She never speaks with anybody, and I don't have any fun with Wanda. Hardly. She only speaks that she has 100 dresses, and she only tells about the pale blue dress and the red colored dress, and people also make fun saying that she would look like a Christmas tree. So Wanda is not important in my life, but Peggy is very close to me. I cannot lose our friendship just because of Wanda. But still, something was worrying Maddie's mind. Why Wanda is not turning up to the class? And suddenly, her mind got diverted to the contest, drawing contest that happened before, and she thought, yes, designs. The topic for the girls were designing the dresses, and for boys it was motorboats, designing motorboats. So Maddie thought, I know my best friend Peggy will win the girls medal because she was excellent, she was a good scholar, she was pretty, she was rich, she had everything, she was the icon of the school, and she even could draw any picture or any face from the magazine, and we would really guess what the picture was. So she had that skills, artistic skills. So Maddie really supported Peggy and thought she would win the gold medal or the girls medal for the drawing and coloring contest. And then what happened the next day? So this is Thursday. The next day it was slightly drizzling. Drizzling means slight. It was raining, and under one umbrella both of them came to school. They did not wait for Wanda that day because they never wanted to be late to school. As Wednesday they were waiting and they were late to school. So Thursday they were not waiting for Wanda. As soon as they reached the classroom, they saw there were drawings and drawings all over the room. Every ledge, windowsill, it was completely covered with brilliant and dazzling colors and lavish designs of, dresses. It was more than 100 dresses all displayed. They were amazed looking at this, and they were all bright colors. And now Miss Mason, who was a teacher, announced the winners. All the class children assembled, and in boys section, Jack Beggles won the medal. He had sketched an outboard motor, and the work is displayed in room 12. And as for the girls, can you guess who is the winner? Definitely Wanda was the winner of the girls medal. Wanda Petronski. She drew 100 dresses. So she kept her word. But that moment she was not present. So Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she was not seen anywhere. So Miss Mason said, let's wait for the next day for her to come and we'll award the medal. So Miss Mason asked the children to look at the Wanda's beautiful drawings that she has done. And she was really amazed at her talents, inbuilt talents, which was not showcased till now. They never knew that Wanda Petronski was a good artist. And this really shocked everyone. And all the children started making noise and they were clapping their hands. Boys are boys. It was a time for them to enjoy and have fun. They were whistling their fingers and they're making a lot of noise and joy. But they were not interested in the dresses or any designs in the girls section. So at last, Maddie whispered in Peggy's ears, oh, look at the blue dress. You see, Peggy? Wanda told me about this. You remember Wanda was saying about a blue dress? It looks exactly like that one. And Peggy said yes. And she showed a green dress with the red trimming. And she asked Maddie, you remember that day Wanda also told about a green dress that she had, and this drawing looks exactly like that. And Peggy at last told she thought she was the best artist in the school, but no, she understood that she could not draw as good as Wanda. So Wanda was unexpectedly, she had a lot of hidden talent. That is the artistic way. She drew 100 dresses, and it's all not an easy task, but Wanda did it. But what happened to Wanda? She never turned up to school. So this we'll see in the next part of the lesson. So what do you mean by the 100 dresses? The 100 dresses refers to all the drawings of 100 dresses painted and colored by Wanda. Who is Wanda? Wanda Petronski is a Polish girl, isn't it? Yeah, she studies in an American school, And she always comes in a old faded blue dress and her shoes are caked with mud because she comes from Boggin Heights. Who is Peggy? Peggy is the talk of the class. She is the icon. She is the popular girl. She is cute, pretty, she has rich clothes, and she's very confident. Who is Maddie? Maddie is a close friend of Peggy, isn't it? She is quite poor, but not as poor as Wanda. But she really supported Peggy. At the same time, she had soft corner for Wanda being questioned on her poverty and dresses. From when was Wanda absent and not noticed? Wanda was absent from Monday, but she was noticed on Wednesday by Peggy and Maddie just for making fun of her. Why did Maddie wanted to stop but did not dare to do it? Maddie remained a mute spectator. She wanted to raise the voice against support Wanda, but she could not miss or destroy her friendship with Peggy. So she did not dare. Why she did not dare? Because her friendship was very valuable with Peggy. And she always had confidence that Peggy will not do wrong. She'll not be wrong. Who wrote a note and tore away? Maddie wrote a note because could not talk to her directly. But she later tore away when she pictured herself in place of Wanda being questioned about her dresses and looks. Who won in the boy contest? Who was that? Jack Pickles. And what message do you get from the lesson? That every person, we cannot judge a person by the appearance. Appearance is deceptive. We should really go with the character, talent, and genuinity of a person and not just because of the assets or the legacy or the wealth that he or she carries. So thank you so much, children. If you really like to have the next lessons coming up, I'll be posting the videos one by one. If you really wanted to keep updated with that, you do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notifications as I post a video. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.